Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of FTB Sports Kop Talk. I'm going to say good evening, Mr. KV. How are we doing, sir?
Yes, family. There you are.
Bless up. Good evening to Brees. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good on this beautiful Monday evening.
Good. Good evening, Del. How are we, sir?
I'm all right, gentlemen. All good. Thank you very much for
Good. Yeah, good evening. It seems like a strange feeling for us because we got to do one and we got to talk about a defeat. We don't normally talk about them.
No, we don't. No,
I'm not sure how to address it, to be fair.
Yeah. It feels wrong.
Yeah, it does. It feels wrong.
Wrong.
Especially when we start talking about things like we look at 24 shots that Liverpool had, 9 on target, to Madrid's 4 shots and 2 on target. So what matters though is that they got one that hit the back of the net, and we yeah. So, gentlemen,
strange, weird.
What happened?
Courtois.
Courtois happened, yeah.
Courtois happened. That's what happened. Like the save he made against Mane was, sublime. And he was his positional play and everything was just on point. And
even the one when Salah went through and then he saved that one as well. Just for myself, when he did that, I just said, we're not going to score today, man.
I don't think Salah hit that hard enough for me, but he still made a damn good save.
Yeah, he did.
It's one of those that Courtois. I'm telling you now, as a keeper, you feel like you're unbeatable. He must have felt he was 10 foot tall, and when you've got your keeper making saves like that, you're always confident that you can nick one.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Vincent Wilkie. How are we doing, sir? Nice to have you on board.
I think when you kind of watch the game and there were phases of play. If you took a screenshot, Madrid gave us so much respect. Like they were, really going for the low block. And I'm kind of looking at it. I'm thinking, this is Real Madrid here. They have given us so much respect. And again, credit to Ancelotti. Like we kind of spoke about him in one of the previous shows in terms of how master tactician, and it was a class act, and the players looked, as in the Liverpool players looked very leggy. They looked very, 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 very tired. But again, credit to Madrid. They deserve to win, and if you kind of look at their journey into the final, it kind of installs that belief in back into me in terms of what the Champions League is about, beating the champions of of the leagues, and again Liverpool had an easier run into the final. Not saying that the teams that Liverpool played were easy, but compared to Madrid, you think, worthy winners. Worthy winners. But yeah, Liverpool just looked leggy, man, and it's unfortunate to say, it could be a bit of a transitional period now for the team.
It definitely looks that way. But going back to the leggy point of view, we still managed to create enough chances to win 2 games. Regardless of being leggy or not, we still managed to create enough chances to win 2 games and still didn't score. And as we've mentioned now as well, we're going to say that that's 3 finals, no goals.
Yeah. I'm going to go,
finals, man. What is it?
The leggy thing, after all the games we played, Tabriz got every right, and they have got every right to mention, maybe talk about, they were leggy, a bit fatigued. I'm not going to go with that narrative. I'm of the narrative that we couldn't score, we couldn't finish our dinner. For me, we had 3 finals and no goals, no play. I think that's a big thing, and it needs to be addressed. It was Madrid. It was their day. They won the game. I didn't get to watch the game properly because the venue I was in, my view was a bit secluded by loads of heads and a disruption. But from what I did say, we gave it a good go for as good as we could. Their goalkeeper was on crud. He was on stuff. Like he had that spinach from Popeye, right? he had that spinach. I've seen the tin behind the goal.
I think he had a few tins.
He had that gummy berry juice, Papa Gummy Bear from Papa Bear. Listen, he was on stuff.
He did.
I don't think Vinicius and Benzema equals as positive as everyone thought they were going to do. Modric was quiet. I think Casemiro and Carvajal were immense. They were on stuff, and they were just a better team. They got the goal. Really disappointing. The memes and the internet have gone crazy. It's quite disrespectful and very shameful for all these other teams who can't compete on our level, who we smashed like Man United, like smashed them 9-0. Like you got a cheat to run out your mouth now, but feel good.
Yeah, they're happy. They can't do it, so they're just happy that anybody can do it, man.
You know what I mean? End of the day, like out of the four competitions we were in, we won 2 of them. That's something to be proud of. All the games we played, that's something to be proud of, and we can definitely build on that for next season.
So Vincent Wilkie says, in hindsight, as we were saying to Brees as well, that Real's name was on the trophy. They should have been knocked out on 3 separate occasions. And they still went on to do it.
Yeah, they're on stuff.
And he's saying, yeah, the way our chances were falling in the first half, it was going to be one of those games. Yeah.
I mean, it's the magic of the Champions League. It happened to us when we came back from 4-0 down to Barcelona. Everyone said our name was written on the cup. Maybe there's a little bit of something in it. That's how nostalgic and historic and great this Champions League is. It's fantastic, mate. And I mean, and by the way, I stand by my comment from the last show. Firmino should have started, because when Firmino came on, we started getting on stuff. That's what I'm going to say.
I think Firmino should have started also as well. Should have started with traditional front three, and then brought the other firepower on, because Diaz, like I said in the previous pod we did, it's Spanish league. They're used to them tricky wingers, that type of winger, that type of drop the shoulder and come inside and take a shot. That's not new for them. Everyone in these wingers in the Spanish league does that same formula. So when you come up against a tricky one, maybe he might be a bit quicker, he might be a bit fresher. That's their bread and butter over there. These tricky wingers want to drop the shoulder and come inside. So I thought Diaz didn't represent any kind of surprise to them. I think Del's right. If we'd have gone with Firmino and let him control it from the front, defend from the front, might have had a bit more presence up front. I don't feel the boys had the presence up front to hold the ball and bring other players in. But it's all in hindsight.
That's a good thing you said about holding the ball up front. Mane was fired up there several times, and the referee didn't give it.
Yeah, they always kick the crap out of Sadio when he goes to Spain.
Like blatant pushes in the back and stuff like that. So we couldn't.
I know what you're saying, right? But where has Mane got his success? Mane's been successful for us by being on the left hand side, going and facing the goal. When he's got his back to goal, he's half the player.
Yeah.
And that's where Firmino comes in. He goes into those little pockets. He picks a little bit, and that allows Mane and that allows Salah to go forward and break the lines. And we was just like, the right back from Real Madrid, I can't remember his name. He after the first few minutes, he had Diaz in his pocket. You know what I mean? Salah's touch was deserted him. I don't know what was wrong with him.
Salah's first touch on that ball coming over the top was velvet, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, later on in the game,
velvet.
Later on in the game, you won't get it. It was a touch second to none. But it was just, it was a bit bitty, wasn't it? That was.
I think Vincent said it in the comments in terms of Konate was immense, and I think he's the only player that could probably come out of that game, with his head held high. Like he has now shown everyone that he can play at the high, at the highest level. After that one challenge that he kind of did on Junior, everyone knew that he was at least going to have one of his best games.
That's a bit harsh though when you say that he's the only one who can lift his head up. Like, Joe? You're 100% right. That's definitely a bit harsh. I thought their team, like Henderson, he run his something to the ground. I thought the team played well. We just couldn't close the door.
Hold on. Stick a pin there, lads. Hold on, lads. Stick a pin right there. As we're gonna do that, stick a pin. We are gonna do what we do.
All right.
And we are gonna go through the team. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give what do you call it? I'm gonna give 3 points first off. What we're gonna do is, who was your man of the match for Liverpool? First and foremost. So to Brees, who was your man of the match for Liverpool?
Konate.
Del?
Fully agree. Konate.
KV?
I totally agree with Brees. Definitely the big homie.
All right. So everyone's got a 3-point start then. Well done, gentlemen.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you, mate. He bossed it. And I got to be honest, when I saw his name on the team sheet, I was like, oh, not too sure. But listen, the lads came through flying colours, mate, and all power to him, mate.
Okay. Even Vincent definitely agrees with that. He definitely says Kanate as well. We're going to get into these scores. WNWM, he says Trent played well. We will be addressing his performance as well. So stick with us. Do remember, people's out there, like, share, and subscribe. All right, sharing's caring, man. Let's get this out there. All right, AV, let's kick this off, man. Allison, out of 10.
Allison, he had a quiet game, didn't he? I give him a 7.
Okay. Del?
Yeah, I'd go with a 7 as well.
Tabrice?
Yeah. I echo.
1 point all round. 1 point all round. Well done, gentlemen. Trent Alexander.
From what I saw, Trent played well. He played really well. He stopped a couple of tackles for Donny. People can get on him towards the goal, which I don't blame him for. I want to give him a 7, but because of the goal, it might trip. But I'm gonna stick to what I rated him at. I'm not gonna go what I think or what blah blah blah. I'm gonna give Trent a 7 because we lost.
Okay, Del.
Again, it's about the what you want in the heart and the brain, and the heart's telling me that he played a really solid game. The head's telling me, well, look, it's back both sides of the game. I'd give him I'm going to give him a 7.
All right, and Tabrice.
Yeah, it's a hard one because we all know Trent's ability, but I'm gonna say probably player rating would be 6.
Okay, so that's a point for KV and Del. They gave him a 7. All right, VVD.
VVD, I don't remember. I was a very quiet game for VVD. I don't remember him being much in the game at all. To be fair, yeah, he didn't stand out for me. The big home, the ponytailed homie didn't stand out for me. It's a quiet game for him. He has to get a 7 as well. Just because I can't give him a 6, he don't deserve an 8, so I'm gonna give him a 7.
Okay, Del.
Yeah, I'm in between 6 and 7 because I've got to be honest. As much as the focus has been on Trent, I think people have kind of been a bit blindsided and not seen that VVD could have possibly gone and closed that space down a little bit earlier, before the lad actually had an opportunity to hit that cross come shot where it was. I'm going to go 7. I think they're going to give him an 8, but I think they've given him a 7, mate. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay.
Just on that matter there.
Tabrice.
Del, I fully agree with you. I think VVD thought he was on Strictly Come Dancing, how like he was backing away and with his hands behind his back. It was he could have had to engage earlier. But again, VVD can't do nothing wrong. He's the kind of golden boy of Liverpool. I think they're going to give him 7.
Okay, 7. It was a 7, gentlemen. Okay. So WMWM is saying 6.5, and he gave Trent a 7.5. Robbo.
Robbo looked busy as usual. Like he's got that Braveheart mentality. That boy don't stop. I want to give him an 8. He probably get a 7 based on the outcome of the game. But I thought Robbo was really good. I thought he was always available, running his arm to the ground. Like I said, I want to give him an 8, but I'm going to say consistent and give him a 7.
Okay, and Del.
I'm going to give him 7 purely because we know what he can do running wise the ball, but his delivery wasn't as below par, like Trent's to be fair as well. Set piece delivery. So for that, I'll give him a 7.
Okay, and Tabrice.
I think Robbo looked leggy in the second half. We all know what he can do. I'm going to give him a 6.
Okay. Tabrice has just leveled up the scores with that one. Got a
Oh,
6.
Holby.
That was a great shout, Brees. That was a great shout because I was flirting, bro. Yeah, fair
Was
play.
a good shout. Definitely a good shout. They said Robbo was lively, but without the potency Liverpool would wish for. With his eagerness to press, ultimately opening up the Reds for Real's goal, with no one left to cover his vacated space.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And WM would have given him a 7. Okay. So let's move on to Fabinho.
Fabinho. Fabs.
Yeah, Fabs.
He tried, didn't he? Really? He didn't have much going forward from what I see. He was just busy in the midfield. The fact that he played was a miracle in itself. He gets a 7.
Okay, Del.
You know what? I'm going to give him a 6. I'm going to give him a 6 purely because I felt he got out in midfield by Madrid's strongman in there. I don't think at any point was he comfortable in there, and he just didn't win that physical battle for me. I think he was below par because he was probably not fit enough. So 6.
Okay, Tabrice.
I thought he did okay. I think the second half, I think he got a little bit frustrated, and it was a really mistimed tackle that earned him a yellow. And I was kind of fearing, I was thinking, was he going to lose his head? But in the grand scheme of things, in his position, I'd give him a 7.
Okay. So that's points for KV and Tabrice. Got a 7. Do you know that one when he got the yellow? That's because shortly before that he was fouled, and that's why he lost his head, and it wasn't given. Referee didn't give it, so that's why he did that. Okay, Hendo, Captain Hendo.
Well, Hendo played really well, considering he didn't really, he couldn't really split. He couldn't really play a pass to split their defense. You could see he was trying. He kept going out wide, picking up the ball, being an extra man in midfield. But based on the result again, he has to get a 7.
Okay, Del.
Yeah, I'd go with a 7 as well. It was a energetic performance from him. Again, probably lacking a bit of quality. It was a final third.
All right, Tabrice.
We all know what Hendo can do. But I think now we're seeing a bit of a decline. Like, I can't remember the last time that he finished the 90 minutes. And in that game, we needed our leader. And, Klopp didn't trust him to finish the 90 minutes. So I'm going to give him a 6.
Okay. So, WM saying Hendo run around, but no product.
It's true, he did.
And they gave him a 7. Okay.
Safety, I think. It was safety shout.
Right. So before we move on to the next player, do you think it was Klopp didn't trust him, or he wanted to change tactics a bit?
Who knows? I'd go with change tactics personally, but Tabrice has got a point. I mean, you lot highlighted to me the last program that they keep bringing him off. I hadn't really pennied it, but it was clear he brought him off again. And then I'm thinking about, hold on a minute, he's been bringing Hendo off a lot at the end of that, towards the middle of the second half. So possibly you could be right. He could be seeing a decline. And me personally, I haven't seen a decline in Hendo. He's just consistent for me. That battler in midfield, that leader on the pitch.
Okay, Thiago, KV.
Boy, he did see quite a bit of the balls in the first half. I thought he was quiet in the second half. Did he? He didn't finish the second half, did he? I think he finished the second half.
No.
I'm gonna go for a 7 as well. Everyone's getting a 7 today.
Okay. And Del?
Mm.
I'm a huge supporter of Thiago. I love what he can do and how he can manipulate the ball. And but I'm going to go out. I'm going to go and give him a 6 because his radar was off. He wasn't right physically. He wasn't right. And yeah, his radar in the first half, maybe little spits in the second half, was well below Thiago's standards. Well below. So whether it was an injury thing that was making impact, I don't know. But I'm going to give him a 6, mate.
Okay, and Tabrice?
So Thiago was Liverpool's risk, and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, right.
And I think the team suffered. He was way off. Just all overhitting passes. Just wasn't mobile, and yeah, it's either a 5 or 6. I'm gonna say 6.
Okay. Well, it's a point to KV. They gave him a 7.
Give him a 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I was a bit surprised at that myself. But yeah.
Yeah, you know they'll be tripping.
They say about Thiago, they said after all the concerns leading up to the match, the warm-up then offered up a will or won't he start. It proved to be the former, and he did not show any signs of carrying the Achilles injury into the game, pinging passes with his typical expert accuracy while also breaking up Real Madrid's play. That's what they
I
saw.
thought he definitely showed signs of the injury from the kickoff.
Yeah, that's
I give him a 7 based on his heart, his willingness to be on the pitch, because God knows he shouldn't be on the pitch. Let's have it right. Now he should have started.
There was one time that we lost the ball, mate, and it looked like Thiago had a fridge on his back.
Yeah.
He couldn't move.
True. Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I mean? So listen, like Tabrice, mate, we that was our risk, and it didn't pay off.
It didn't pay off. 100.
5. All right, so let's go with Salah.
You know what? That boy ran up his mouth, didn't he? Didn't he run up his mouth? I want revenge.
Yeah.
I said so from the gate. Bad man don't run up their mouth. Bad man just handle their business. You are running your mouth, not sure of the victory. Who does that?
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't go into games against Real Madrid like you're the big I am. So I want to give him a 5.
Woo!
But I'm gonna give him a 6.
All right. Del?
Yeah, I'm same opinion of KV, man. The guy go and run up his mouth, and you get all the best players in the world. They don't need to run their mouth off.
Thank you. You don't run at your mouth.
I mean, they let what they do on the pitch do their talking for them, and that worried me when he first. I told you last couple of weeks ago. That worried me when he done that.
Yeah.
For my opinion, I'm going to give it. For my opinion, I think it's a 6. But for this game, I'm going to give 7 because that touch, and then he had a shot, and took Courtois saved it. So I'm going to think that's what they're thinking about. So I'm going to give a 7.
Okay.
Sorry to cut in, but that was right. They're going to give him a 7, but based on everything I just said, that's why he's getting a 6 from me. Sorry.
I think what Salah said, I don't mind that. You know, Zlatan does it all the time, and so literally, if you and literally that's what us punters like when players back themselves. Unfortunately,
that has been doing it though. That has been running his mouth. That's his character.
Yeah, it's. Listen, I mean, again, Salah's done so much for Liverpool, but again, just to kind of keep it simple, I think with the header and with the shot as well, I think they're going to give him a 7. But overall, I think hand on heart, he deserves a 6. But
Okay.
I'm going to give him a 7.
All right. So that's points for Del and Tabrice. Because they gave him a 7.
Of course they would.
And they said, with a revenge mission, 4 years in the making, you can argue that too much of his own pressure was on his shoulders, forcing it too much at times in general play. He was not without chances to pepper Courtois' goal, but the real goalkeeper was on form to frustrate with one top-class save after another, which is completely typical against Liverpool. So there you go. WM got this one right. He got it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 2 more to go now, gentlemen. Diaz.
I give Diaz. I mean, he had a very frustrating game. They had his ticket. I thought they had his ticket. They knew exactly what he was going to do when he was doing it. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay, and Del.
they're going to give him. You know what? I'm going to give him. I'm going to go for a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. I don't think he deserves it.
You should get a 6, really. I like.
All right, Tabrice.
Right.
I'm going to give him a 6. Great signing for Liverpool, but there's still levels and like he's again like he's still young, is still raw. But in this game, it just wasn't for him. 6.
Okay, so Vincent says 6, and WM says 6.5. They actually gave him an 8. Yeah,
8.
So they said energetic and eager to get stuck in. Diaz was a constant option on the left and more than did his part to track back and help out Robertson. Tired legs made him Klopp's first sub. So they gave him an 8. And finally, Mane.
King Sadio gets a 7 for me, even though Mane, typical Mane, he spends a lot of time on the floor, Sadio, from when he's shooting to when he's receiving the ball. I love him to bits, but he gets a 7 for me.
Vince a bit surprised by that 8 for Diaz there.
Yeah, I lie.
Go on, Del.
I'm going to give him a 7 because only reason I'm going to give him a 7 is because he came into the game a little bit more later on in the game when Firmino actually came on, and that's when you started seeing him starting on the left and started getting in behind. So for that reason, I'd give him a 7.
Okay, and Tabrice?
So he had the shot that Courtois tipped onto the post.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was a bit of a bully up front, but didn't do that much until Bobby came on, and he looked more of a threat. Hey, let's say 8.
Okay. What did you say, KV?
I said 7.
Okay. So that's a point for KV, and a point for Tabrice, and a point for Del. Sorry. Okay, gentlemen. Right. So Jota got 7, Firms got a 7, and Naby got a 6. Coming on. So
You know what I just realized? Oh,
10, 9.
was it which Colombian did they give the 8 for? Was it Diaz or the other Colombian? That don't make no sense. I should think what somebody he's talking about here.
I know, bro. I'm as shocked as you, man. I'm as shocked as you. So that's KV on the winner this week, mate, with 10. Del's in second place with 9, and Tabrice with 8.
I'm getting there.
Don't worry, man. You're getting
winner this week. For my prize, I would like for Tabrice to write me a chorus and a hook. Right? I'm gonna be a rapper now.
As part of the hook, it's got to involve Liverpool being created in 1802.
All right. So WM says that Ancelotti said that Salah's chat was all the motivation that Real Madrid needed. No,
exactly
necessary. And I'm gonna go back and look for a comment from Vincent. I think TA distribution was the worst I've seen him play. Sticky's getting for the goal is unfair in my opinion. All right, so we're going to stick a pin right here, gentlemen, and we're going to talk about this now. So what do you make of this goal then? Is he to blame? Is he not to blame? Let's talk about that.
He's not to blame. The team's to blame. You can't just blame one man. There's this narrative, this big who everyone wants to accuse should have not been able to defend. He can defend. We've seen him defend one-on-one. He's brilliant at checking back. He's good at reading the game, but the Liverpool way of play is to have him pretty much centre midfield. Now, he hasn't got the speed of Roberto Carlos or the speed of Dani Alves to rush back every time. It's going to happen. And Liverpool, most of the time, we compensate for that with Fabinho or the winger coming back to help out. They caught us out. Vinicius caught us out. I'm no way never going to blame Trent for that goal at all. No way.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't solely blame Trent. And I think if you're going to have to, for this goal to have started, you have to rewind all the way back to when Modric had the ball in the last 20 yards of his own half, right? Jota was tracking him. Jota then stopped tracking him and then allowed Modric to then do reverse pass back inside up the 30 yards up the pitch. All of a sudden, we're out of position. So that starts there, and then the lad gets the ball, picks it up in the pocket. VVD, he doesn't go and get close as he goes because I know what he's doing. He's trying to slow him down so he stop the overlap. But if he creeps across, like VVD has done many a times. He's gone across, all right, and someone's gone and filled in behind him. I believe that if he went across a little bit earlier, that he could have possibly stopped and avoided the lad having a shot across goal. And in regards to Trent, he never checked his wing mirrors one bit. He checked it. He checked it when he was outside the area, but once he checked it inside, he never checked his wing mirrors again. And you know, Vinicius just he gambled. He gambled. That's what great do. So it's
yeah. I mean, I think what it is. We can have the benefits of replays, and yeah, Trent checked it outside the box. I think he checked it twice, and and I think that's the most frustrating thing, because he like saw him and looked and then saw him again. So like he knew that he was there, but again, exactly in terms of how Van Dijk should have really engaged more, and the kind of whole position was just really out. But it wasn't as if Madrid scored a worldie. It was like one of those Man City cutback type of goal. And again, it was on Trent's side. So it's very easy just to look at him. I could have said that Trent is almost like a throwback to a David Beckham at right back. I think Liverpool fans just have to accept the qualities that Trent gives us offensively. That's the reason why we're in this position. And defensively, he's not like Ashley Cole. He's not like Cafu. He's yes, he has his good days defensively, but we just have to accept, look, I don't think he's going to improve on his kind of one-on-one ability, but like in terms of his distribution and literally how he starts off attacks, that is our strength. So please, Liverpool fans, I beg you, like, we have to keep the same energy. When we say Trent is having an amazing game, we have to say that. And literally, when a goal like that goes in, we just have to say, look, it is what it is. That's just how Trent defends. Simple as.
Yeah, but all right. Okay. So on that, my view of that is, I agree with all of what you lot have said about, and there's a comment in here as well from a Monday. I'm going to get to that quickly. So Monday says, first of all, he says, big up to the Kop Talk crew. Thanks very much, Monday, for that. Hold your heads up high. Your team performed well. He says, big up to Brees and also supported the channel. But he says that Robbo is to blame for the goal, if going into detail, because he pushed too high, trying to press Modric and left it 3-on-3 on the break. And WM is saying that the goal came down Robbo's side. So, right, all of that apart. So if you started to pick it up, right, so Robbo has gone too far ahead. All right, so we passed that phase of play now. VVD hasn't done what he's supposed to do and get closer to that man to try and block the ball going in. All right, we've gone past that phase of play now. But for me, still, Trent has looked and he's seen that Vinicius Jr. is there and he's done nothing about it. That's the worrying thing for me. He's not moved in. He's not moved closer to try and get closer to him. He's not turned himself proper square on. So if the ball comes across, he could stop the ball coming across. That is poor for me. He knew he was there. That is the hurtful thing. It's fair. You know what? If you didn't check and you said, all right, you know what? He didn't even check, but you checked and you did nothing different. Yeah, all right, yeah, he's there. And that's it.
Yeah, there's no change.
You've got to position yourself so that you're marking him, or you're going to make it tight for him if the ball gets to him, or you're going to position yourself so you can cut out that ball. And he did neither for me. And I thought that was very poor. That is very, very poor.
I think it's just laziness.
And this is the things that we've spoken about on previous podcasts about when we play a quality team, we will get found out with things like that. And we did.
Yeah, but I think, like Sabrina said, though, that's our mantra. That's our philosophy all for the last God knows how many years since Klopp has been. So on that part there, like everyone in the world knows our two fullbacks are the most dynamic, forward-thinking fullbacks in the world, and they make us tick. If you interrupt the fullbacks, that gives you a chance. Yeah. And you got to be like Madrid. They got their quality side, historic history that they've got, and they've got good players, and they've got a master and Ancelotti in regards to his tactics. They just bided their time and done it and picked us off. It was just I agree. I'm trying not to be too harsh on Trent because you got to remember the kid's what, 22, 23? He's going to grow. Yeah, he's going to grow, and I'm sure he will learn from this experience.
He bloody better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Bloody well better. I'm telling you.
He's 23. He's 23. Yeah, he's 23. But in football education, he's been on the first team at a lot of positions for a long time. We can't keep using nothing about his green. I think Liverpool. He either has to work on his positioning when the ball being played in front of him, or Liverpool need to create a new position for him where he's not got that much defending to do, or something's got to give.
And what like Dell said about when we beat Barcelona, and everyone talks about how quick Trent's IQ was to take that quick corner to Origi. Like that was out of this level, and literally that like clip has been shown to every single probably youngster, and and like coaches say this is like how you got to be forward thinking. So it's a puzzling one, and but yeah, I mean I just thought it was laziness, and again exactly what you said. Like he looked twice, and like he knew he was there. However,
you know what concerns me though? Like you see Madrid were putting their bodies on the line, and they would even if when the ball went past, they were putting their bodies on the line just to make sure. And the concerning thing is, as the ball went across, he didn't make an effort. He didn't he just didn't do anything. And it was like, he's there, Trent. He's there. It's like a good old-fashioned panto. He's behind you. I mean, he's behind you. He's behind you. And then, as you know, if you know he's behind you, just follow the path of the ball and try and put a block on it. But
there you go.
Yeah.
So, on Monday, from the Man United agenda, he says, no disrespect, but you have to consider that Klopp is one-dimensional. Teams know how to set up to soak up the high press. What, like Man United?
Oh, so go.
You got 9-0, bro.
Boo, 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 boo.
9-0, bro.
You know, it says I think there's a stat out there, that says Liverpool, the aggregate score between Liverpool and United is like 29 goals to 2 in the time Klopp's been at Liverpool. So I mean, as much as I respect the homie,
I mean, one-dimensional.
Man United is not. You can't support Man United. We don't like that, especially how we are still hurting over here. So we don't like that.
I'm telling you. You said
I'm not reacting to any teams that ain't even in Europe. You know what I mean? No.
But the whole reason he's entitled to his opinion.
He says we failed to have any clear-cut chances or get behind them, slice them open. Credit to Madrid. Where is Black Klopp? Tell him I send my regards, and I owe him. He buried me over FC.
Damn.
Trent is not to blame. Arts how Robbo was deep in their half, pressing Modric, but 5 yards off him, allowing him to turn out and pass through the lines. We ain't a good team. Granted, you whooped us. I'm referring to good teams. I'm glad you couldn't get that way.
If you would have said that,
you know what? Give me propers. Give me propers. Brother, we're still hurting from the game, so we're just being sore. You're entitled to your opinion, my G.
What you're saying, you all seem to have an agenda against Trent.
No.
I don't think you've been listening, WM.
Exactly.
The guys over here definitely weren't blaming Trent. I was probably the only one who was very critical of him. So all of us. I was probably the only one who's really critical.
Listen,
I'm not. You can't blame Trent for a team sport. You can't blame Trent for a team sport. It's a team sport out here. There's no one man involved. At the end of the day, certain players lacked a little bit of concentration at the precise moment where they needed it the most. But to blame one man, we don't do that around here.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, we move on, man. We move on. We got 50%. You know what I mean? 2 trophies out of 4. And the old FA Cup, which we had won for a little spell, so it was nice to have that back as well. Mr. Wilkie makes a good point as well. He's saying the set pieces were the worst part of our game. It's very true. Very good with that, and I'm surprised once again that we know how dangerous Kanate is, and we're not putting that ball for him to get on it, man.
Deliveries were poor on.
Sometimes we weren't even beating the first defender at the near post, and It was
Yeah.
terrible, man. Terrible. I
Yeah.
just don't know what's going on.
On another subject, did you not read and hear about the disruption, the fans getting into the stadium?
I think this is very important that like this gets aired because there's a lot of
Absolutely. You know what? Yeah, I'm not surprised. You see the French authorities and how they run things. They couldn't run a piss up in a brewery. They're absolutely incompetent. They're rude. They're aggressive. The French are not. Their police are not. Just ask their citizens about the French police. Yeah, you can't be surprised. And then they'll have that narrative that Liverpool and British fans are going to come there and disrupt it. So they already had their backup and had what they were going to do and how they were going to do it. So I think the French authorities should be ashamed of themselves, and something needs to be done about it.
Well said, KV. Well said. But will they? That's the thing. Will they? Because we heard all about that and about the delays. That just led to the more tension. Getting
tear gas in families. What kind of nonsense is this?
Kids and all that there is disgusting behavior, man.
I gotta be honest, KB put it. KB, you articulated it perfectly because for my opening gambit, there was all F's and explicits coming out. Because if I've got to be honest, if we keep it real, like it's happened to Liverpool again. To Liverpool supporters again, like being entrapped in a area where the authorities should be doing their job, don't do their job, and then people.
Have you not been to France?
Yeah, I've actually been to France a few times.
What's your take on France as a country when you went there?
They literally look at me as if I'm a foreign or like a second-class citizen.
Yeah.
So in one word, horrible.
My sister said she went there. She said she would never ever go back.
Yeah,
me neither. Never go back there. Never. Disgusting little continent.
That was enough for me to say, all right, you know what? Fair enough. I don't need to hear no more.
Yeah,
I ain't going for myself. So Vincent says that we're drifting in them set pieces instead of zipping them in. Yeah, boy.
Set pieces weren't great. The set pieces, the quality weren't great. You know, I mean, look. If we want to, if I was sitting there and I was going through everything, and I'm like, well, hold on. Liverpool got delayed on going to the game. Then we had this disruption outside. You know what I mean? All this, it just, for me, it just seemed like, Real Madrid, someone decided up there in the heavens that Real Madrid, it was Real Madrid's cup. You know what I mean? It was just, even the referee was making some, I'm not blaming the referee, but he made some really questionable decisions. You know, especially when he booked Diaz for a foul where he was actually fouled.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You know,
he gave Carvajal a free kick. I think I can't remember if it was the first or second half, and you could clearly see that Carvajal was pulling Thing's shirt.
Yeah,
I was like, what the heck?
Saying that though, the Benzema goal was the first one. That was a goal.
That was a goal.
That was a goal. I'm not going to sit here and say that was a goal. That was a blatant goal. It was a goal, man.
I've got to be honest. The referee on BT Sport, he must have had his rule book out, and he must have figured out because the way he explained it, I'm thinking to myself, how you explain that?
It's a goal.
But what they're saying is the rule is if it's deflected back to you, accidentally. Then he's classed as offside.
Then he's classed offside, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so if I'm walking past the jewelry, should have been robbed and I accidentally put a diamond in my pocket, I'm innocent.
Try it and let me know how it goes.
I'll keep that.
Yeah, try it and let me know how it goes, man. Or if it don't work out, send me a VO.
It's not the same, man. They ain't the same. I
don't know, man. I don't know.
But listen,
gentlemen. Right. So where do we go from here moving forward now? Because the talk is now Mane to Bayern.
I still don't see that happening.
Are we looking at overhaul, gentlemen?
Something's got to change.
Why?
Okay, so
I'm answering the question, man. I'm answering the question.
3 finals. Okay, answer my question. Yeah, 3 finals, no goals, open play. Right, Diaz is coming. He's coming and he's been excited and everything, but he couldn't break the deadlock in every goal. We got the Carvalho kid coming in start of the season. Is he the answer? I don't think so.
We'll find out. Apparently, Klopp says he's not going to loan him out. He's coming in because he's got a part to play in the team.
Is he? I don't think he's going to be a huge answer. Something Klopp and Liverpool have to do something to address this problem. Even against the big teams, we didn't score in open play against City in the league, against Spurs, against Tottenham. Like something's got to change. Something has to change. We've got to do something.
We are so with the finals that we've played Chelsea twice, who kind of have our number. Of course, the
Madrid 4 games for Chelsea didn't score. 4 games.
Yeah,
it's what do you mean?
2 in the league.
One of the games was
2 in the league. Yeah, so we do. Yeah, but we
win the league.
So I think Chelsea, penalties is penalties. But again, I'm kind of looking at it glass half full because the season before we finished 3rd with all of our injuries. So I'm seeing this is a successful season compared to where we were before when we signed Ben Davis at centre back, who I don't know who this guy is.
You have to say that, bro.
Sorry, apologies.
People have forgotten about that.
So, but I mean, at this present moment in time, we're kind of looking at Mane, who's 30. We're looking at Salah, who's 30. We're looking at Hendo, who's 32. We're looking at, I think there's now got to be an injection now. City have now gone and got Haaland or Haaland, however you pronounce it,
and the other kid as well from Argentina they got.
Yeah.
So some Yavier.
So literally Liverpool have to now spend big. I think when Klopp was starting his project, it was easier to convince. Well, not easier to convince because we didn't really have any quote unquote superstars at the time. Even Salah wasn't a superstar. Now, players who are coming in are going to be asking, so Klopp, how long are you going to be here? Rather than about, what's the project? Because, again, now it's...
We've got 4 years. We've got 4 years to build another successful team.
It's for me, I would love for Liverpool to buy Harry Kane straight off. Because literally that would just send, shivers again to Man City to say, okay, you've got Haaland, we've got Kane. Now what?
I think Kane's the answer. We don't play the Harry Kane style.
We don't have to play the Harry Kane style. We need a killer in the box now. You've literally talked about the fine margins.
No, you're absolutely right. But we don't want to. You're absolutely right. But Harry Kane is an orthodox striker. Liverpool don't play to that. So I mean, we're gonna get him. It might be the Lukaku turn out. We've got this guy in the middle of the box. We're not throwing the balls in there for him.
But again,
but we do need to change something.
But you see, Harry Kane can actually drop deep as well. He can literally connect. Listen,
when we're dropping deep, and who's in the box?
You know what? For me, Harry Kane at 28 with, I believe, 2 or 3 years on his contract. If Liverpool put down the money, Levy will sell at 80, 90 mil. And you know what? It's time for Liverpool to make that bold statement. Yes, we are now picking up the promising players. Of course, there's Harvey Elliott now that hopefully is going to be coming through the ranks. I'm not too sure about Curtis Jones now. I'm not too sure exactly where he fits into Liverpool. So, we have to come now with a statement, especially if Mane goes. I think he's going purely in the fact that Mane is not media trained and literally he was not goaded into saying what he said when the reporter was talking to him. The reporter didn't even talk about him leaving. It was Mane that said, I'll tell you what my situation is after the Champions League final. So you don't say that if you don't have to say that.
You don't say that unless you got something on the table.
Thank you. So literally, let's just accept that Mane is gone. And again, fair play. He's been in the Premiership for, a decade now. So I think it's time for him to move on. I'm gutted, absolutely gutted. But we have to move on from that. Personally, I don't want to replace Mane with a similar player. We have to go for something different. And
I get Son. I prefer Son over Kane personally.
On that one, Vince is saying he's still not a fan of Kane. And he says he'd rather Son as well.
Yeah, I got Son over Kane.
Yep, I'm looking at that as well because they're talking about that. That would be the ideal replacement for him.
I don't think. Well, I think it might be a good replacement for him. I don't see, with Tottenham being in Champions League now, I don't see Levy getting any of them. And I there are people out there you got the boy from what was it from? Is it Napoli or is it Napoli? The boy up front. the Nigerian lad.
Christopher Nkoku. I
Nkoku.
think it's from.
Yeah. You've got to play. I think you've got young, exciting players. Like you've got Alexander Iska from. You've got oh God, mate, you've got so many young, up and coming players. I prefer Liverpool to go and get one of these these younger players who've got so much more potential, because the fact of if Klopp can come in when he did and turn a side into what he turned him into, okay, look, we spent big on the keeper, BVD, but if you look around everything, we didn't spend an awful lot of money, and he educated players. He made better players better. And if you get these young, exciting players who already match, they've got experience, they've already got a season or two experience, bring them in and let Klopp nurture them. Because I'm telling you, we will be unbelievable. If we go back into, we get Son, he's 29 years old, we're going to have him for a couple of years. If we get a younger player, we can get him in, nurture him, we can dominate for years to come.
You know what? To be fair, I think Fabrice has got a point though. I think it might be time for Liverpool to change something about their style and the way they play in order for us to get more goals. I think that might be the way forward. We can't keep going with this same working from the wingers and everything. We've done it. It's worked. It doesn't work as effective anymore. I think it might be time for an orthodox number 9 striker.
We are looking predictable. We've lost Origi. Potentially, we could be losing Mane. Salah hasn't signed as yet. We have Milner, that's contracts coming up.
He signed a new one. He got offered a new one.
In a year extension.
1 year. The Divock Origi thing. Are we losing anything?
We are literally losing a squad player.
Bro, I love you, but he scored 41 goals in 7 years. But we ain't losing nothing, bro.
Yeah, but he's not played that much, bro.
Where he played, he scored 41 goals in 7 years. That's poor. Now, yes, he scored important goals at important time, but we ain't losing nothing with Divock. I love Divock. But 41 goals in 7 years is not good enough. Terrible. It's terrible.
Firmino, Salah, and Mane in front of you.
Well, I know what you're saying. You're not wrong, but 41 goals in 7 years doesn't say we're losing anything.
I think it's all gonna really come down to if Liverpool are ready to like break their pay structure. Because again, I would say even Sterling, Raheem could be coming back. Imagine Sterling. Listen, why not? Like he's still young enough. I think
we don't want that sellout back in the red shirt. We don't want that sellout back in the red shirt.
No, you got that boy Dembele. You got that boy Dembele from Barcelona.
I take him before I think.
Injury prone.
Yeah, too much injuries. I like him, very good player, but he doesn't stay fit.
You got a point, injury prone, bad attitude as well. And you got a point with Dembele.
On Monday, he's saying Kane is not a sensible sign, in my honest opinion. The only statement he will make is a reduced bank balance. Liverpool will not sign Kane. Osimhen or Núñez are more suitable. Mr. Fitzwarren is also saying he prefers Son. And on Monday says, well said, Del. Klopp is a coach and develops players much more value in a younger player with a higher seat.
That's Liverpool mantra. That's our that's what we do. That's what the owners have been striving to do, and it's worked. So
we tried that with Karius. That didn't work out. So every now and then Liverpool have to open up their checkbook because we tried to bring certain players. Karius was number 2. Karius was number 2 goalkeeper in Germany when we thought we could develop him. That flop. Yeah. Who was before Ben? So every now and then Liverpool do open the checkbook.
Come on, if you think about the signings that we've made, even to the point of today, like we've made the sign of Carvalho. We're making the signs of Harvey Elliott. We're making those young players who've got that exciting potential. And
we are, but they don't push us forward.
Yeah,
they don't push us forward right now.
Exactly, and
go sorry. Go.
And I'm not saying Liverpool should be spending 200 mil, but we need a marquee signing, and especially if Mane is going now or or like next season, we are like now a club that people fear. You know, we are now a club that people are now creating memes about. We are now a club that we can all come together and think, raw, like, how come United fans abandon us? How come Arsenal fans abandon us? Because now we are the team. So it's only right, especially, you know, with Man City signing whoever they want to sign. Yes, you know, within like the rules of the, of this fair play thing, whatever, cool. But we have to make a marquee signing. Like, we've got to come with some sort of intent.
The number 8, mate. I think we've got to get a number 8, a creative number 8 in that we can do this work. And when we need
another player, Declan Rice.
Chelsea going to show him.
No.
Just signed Ivan Perisic.
No.
Don't spoil it to Reece.
No, listen,
Rice.
Let's be real. Don't forget, Henderson was berated when he first came to Liverpool. Like, let's not get it twisted. But now he for me, which could be a bit controversial here, I would say that he's a better captain than Stevie G. Personally, 100%.
Never.
100%. But
Never.
so
How?
He's living in 1802 still, bruv.
How? only way Hendo is better than Steven Gerrard is because of the trophies he picked up. Other than that, Hendo can't lace Gerrard's boots and anything else in terms of carrying the game, in terms of technique, in terms of carrying a team for a couple of years.
You know what? I'm not even talking about technique. I'm kind of talking about the influence that he has in, not only at Liverpool but within the Premiership. Like, he is, like a proper spokesman.
I hear what you're saying.
So literally, like, that's kind of what I call a true leader. Don't forget, Gerrard in his last game got sent off within a couple of minutes.
Yeah, but Gerrard carried that team for most of his career.
100%. And again, literally, I'm not taking nothing away from him.
He's not talking about his physical, or his ability. He's talking about the leadership skills and all that. What he does as well.
I
heard that. I second you on that one. Yeah, I heard.
Fitzwarren is saying Golden Boots winner ahead of Kane, playing in the same team. Yep, Son outscored him, and he doesn't take penalties as well. It's a big point. WM is saying don't go by the stats. Origi did his job when called upon over the years. W is laughing. He's saying Hendo better than Stevie G. He's not listening. I hope he's listening properly now. And Sugar Cane, Henderson is still berated. Oh, now he's saying still berated.
I love Hendo. I do. I'm a huge fan of Hendo.
I like Hendo. He's a true
fan of Hendo's ability and his attitude. But he would never be ahead of Steven Gerrard and me. No way.
Now that's technical wise and all that. Yeah, come on, man. We know that.
But like,
not many players you can, to be fair.
But like, we do need legs, though. We actually do need legs.
Yeah, definitely. Jude Bellingham, man, is what we need.
You know what? Hallelujah. I don't get it why we got pipped by Dortmund. We're only a few miles down the road from Birmingham, and I think that Bellingham, at 18, 19, what potential?
Yeah,
what potential?
Come on. It's gonna be a boy. WM is saying that Hendo, had he been foreign, would have been pushed out by the fans and media alike.
You know what? Hendo has worked incredibly well, incredibly hard. I remember my son, he hated Hendo back in the day. Hated him. But like, if you speak to my son now, absolutely loves Hendo. And for what he's done, stepping up in respect of the off the pitch as well. I mean, that speaks volume of the man. Hendo's Hendo, innit? And like he's been our captain and he's done it honourably.
Yeah. He's done a good job. So also we're going to quickly just mention before we cut it, gents. Ox will be going as well. They're talking about Villa and West Ham looking at him. Not sure what kind of money, but that's the talk. Is
let's give him to Leeds with a bit of change. Pete Phillips.
Give him to who?
Give him to Leeds
I've
Got
got
a
to
bit
be
of money
honest,
to take Calvin Phillips.
that's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout. I'll go with Calvin Phillips before I go to Declan Rice.
Actually,
There's
so
also
sorry.
talk about you mentioned with Lewandowski.
But yeah, because he's going on a free, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going on a free, but he's old, man.
Yeah, but that boy can score, you know.
Yeah, boy can score.
That boy could. He knows where the goal is. He scores goals.
How old is he now? When you say old, that's old.
30.
I'm sure he's about 33, 34.
No, I think he's at least 36, you know.
Oof.
Nah.
That's
No.
We don't need that. We don't need that. Seriously,
just a question to you guys regarding the quadruple and literally how Liverpool played. Do you think Klopp actually trusted the squad to actually rotate? And literally, again, we're like talking about Ox, we're talking about Gomez, we're talking about even Jones as well. Those guys didn't really get a lot of game time, considering that we were going for all 4 trophies.
True. Jones is coming like
I must say though, this season he has actually, Klopp has actually made substitutions and that a lot earlier in games than he did before.
Previously.
But he's right. One of my things I used to get on him about, like he's waiting too long to do stuff. But this season he's done things a lot earlier rather than us sitting there going, "Come on, man, make that." He's done it a lot earlier and he's made the subs. To be fair, it's been
he definitely has.
That he's been making. To be fair,
he definitely made more subs than he had previously. But in terms of the players he's used, it's been the same players. Jones is coming like the English Denilson. Like he's got a bit about him, but there's no product defending or attacking. To be fair, since that Everton goal, Taki done well. To be fair, he done well than I thought he was going to do. He definitely done well, but Elliott's time still to come. Ox's time for him to boogie. Gomez, I thought Gomez would have got more breath on the pitch. I was surprised about that, but then when you see what Konate has done, what can you say? What can you really say?
And Matip.
Yeah, Konate and Matip. I mean, there's no replace for Gomez. I think Gomez should and can stay, but if he wants consistent football, he has to boogie.
I want him to stay, man. I want the boy to stay.
I want him to stay. I want him to stay too, but is he dislodging? Is he dislodging VVD, Matip, or Konate?
No,
well, no. I mean, do you know what? To be fair,
the squad.
Yeah, the squad, the team that we went on. You got to remember, we went on an amazing run, and that team. When your team is on a run, it's very difficult to kind of make those changes without upsetting. I mean, the momentum of it. And I think, to be fair, we got away with it against Southampton when he did change it. But even
we got away with it against Aston Villa too.
But if you check it, Ox didn't even play then. He didn't play.
Exactly.
So
in the squad.
Yeah, so there must be something behind him not being in the squad when Curtis Jones is ahead of him.
Yeah, he's gonna go, man. He's gonna go. He's gonna go in the summer. Definitely.
I would like to see Minamino a bit more. I've got to be honest. I would like to see him a little bit more.
I think maybe next season he might get a bit more play now. To be fair, I think he's well acclimatized now. He knows what it's about. He's had his loan spell. He's come back. He's done a few games for us and scored and whatever. I think he'll get a few more run-outs next season, especially in things like the Carabao Cup and all that. He'll definitely get some more games.
He's our next league.
So, guys, press the like button as hard as Robbo tried to press Modric. This guy.
Oh, God. Trolling, man.
Fire!
All right, and before we go quickly, gentlemen, this is going to be the last one. All right, Sunsy says the only comparable attributes between Hendo and Stevie G is who had the bigger influence on the team, squad, i.e. motivation, improving teammate performances. We'll leave you with that one. Gentlemen, we will be back on Thursday. That's our normal slot, 10 o'clock. Remember, Kop Talk, yeah? Subscribe to the channel so you don't forget, don't miss it. Like and share, people. So we're going to say good night to Brees.
Good night.
Good night, KV.
Good night, Brandon. Blessings.
Good night, Del.
Good night, man. Them.
Good night. Everything is right.
Come on.
We'll be back,
1809. 1809.
Everything is right. Steve, I've got baby.